His name was Awkward. Well, at least that's what they called him. Maybe you remember from your junior high days. He was a bit chunky, his scruffy hair straggled over his ears. His shoes were tired, tattered, and torn, matching his jeans and t-shirt. He was very shy and extremely quiet. He only spoke when spoken to, and then it was just a little mumble aimed at his shoes. It was the last day of junior high. The entire 8th grade class was on a field day at Lagoon. And while the other boys rode the roller coaster and chased the girls from one end of the park to the other, he was on a long, slow walk through Pioneer Village. He loved the old gun museum. He thought he might fit in at a time like that. And while the girls screamed in the fun house and chased the boys right back to where they started, he was over at the Midway. That's where he won the stuffed dinosaur. It was big, fluffy, and blazing pink. Perfect for his little niece, he thought. And while the others swarmed back to their bus in their groups of jocks, preps, nerds, and stoners, he wandered back by himself, took his seat, and set that big fluffy dinosaur in the empty space next to him. But all that did was give the others reason to notice him. The names didn't bother him at first. It was to be expected. Usually they just made a few jokes and left him alone. It wasn't until the yellow-haired girl started singing as she stood up from her seat, danced her way into his space, snatching the dinosaur, did he realize this was not going to be a normal taunt. Oh, she sang something about pink dinosaurs living where the sun don't shine, and then she started chanting. Awkward, awkward, and the whole back half of the bus joined in. Not out of meanness or cruelty, but just because everyone else was doing it. And it felt good to be a part of a group. But silently, they were each thanking God. The chanting was not aimed at them. And she directed that chant like she was directing a symphony. This side awk, this side word, awkward, awkward. This side awk, this side word, word. Word, ward. Ward, ward. 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 Ward, that's me. That was the longest ride of my life. And all I wanted was to be invisible. A lump formed in the back of my throat, and it hurt to swallow. Who am I kidding? It just hurt everywhere. I was afraid to speak for the crack in my voice, and I was afraid to blink for the fear that the closing of my eyelids would squeeze out the tears I fought so hard to hold back. And that's all they wanted. Really, it was just a whimper or a tear. She worked so hard for it, she danced above my half-empty seat. I'm proud to say that I didn't let them see me cry that day. And I'm proud to say, though I heard them loud and clear with their singing and chanting, I didn't listen to them. More importantly, I didn't believe them. I chose not to believe because somewhere else, deep down inside, I heard another voice. A soft little whisper rising up from within, telling me a different story, telling me that I was okay, and that everything was going to be all right. That's the voice I listened to, and that's the voice I believed. And if you stop and listen, you can hear that voice too, telling you that you're okay and that everything is going to be all right. I hope that's the voice you listen to, and I hope that's the voice you believe. Like all rights, that one ended. And just like that, junior high was over. Do you know what happens to a quiet, shy, awkward high school misfit who cleans up? Who starts exercising with weights and running? Who gets a job at the local burger joint, buys Levi 501s and OP t-shirts, just like everyone else, all in an attempt to blend in and be invisible? Well, besides the soft, fluffy parts becoming lean and powerful, nothing. He's still a quiet, shy, awkward high school misfit who mumbles when he talks. Now, there is one thing that changes. It's the names. They go from being goofy, shy, and awkward to stuck up, conceited, and arrogant. It's confounding how one can go from one end of the spectrum to the other with nothing more than a shower and a clean shirt. But I guess that's the point. As we go through our lives, the critics are going to talk, and they're going to come at us from every direction. But it's up to us to decide who we're going to listen to. More importantly, who we're going to believe. I've known too many people who have listened to the critics and have wound up running in circles in a futile effort to please those who don't matter. I've known too many people who have been told, you're too shy, you're too slow, you're too dumb, you're too this, you're too that. You're not fast enough, you're not strong enough, you're not pretty enough. You're just not enough. And they listen. More tragically, they believe them, and in so doing, accepting the verdict and the corresponding life sentence of living a life well below their potential, all because they listened to an opinion that doesn't matter. I've thought a lot about this, and it's inspired the following poem I wrote. The critics will speak to the simple and weak, the words no others will hear. The critics will speak to the strong and the chic, their words are sprinkled with fear. They'll tell you you're awesome, you've made it, you're golden, you're perfect in every way. They'll laud you for winning, high-five you while grinning, and as quickly just turn away. When you listen to they and what they have to say, strange things begin to unravel. Faults, ups and downs, phony smiles and frowns on their verdict as they strike their gavel. But wait, who are you to listen to they? Taking heart to hear what they have to say? Instead, listen hard to the one left unmarked through the loud and constant chatter. To the whisper of love rising up from above, it's the only opinion to matter. Yes, the critics will mumble, the critics will grumble of what may or may not be true. But it's who you choose to believe through the stories they weave, in the end, that will make you